Hello and welcome back to my channel. I want to talk today about happiness because it's a very odd concept in that it's very difficult to actually define. I used to think that it was achieving goals or finding success, but the problem with this is that it creates the mindset that happiness is something we must strive towards and that it's always just out of reach, and this prevents us from properly learning how to be happy in the moment, to be happy right now. I've thought about this a lot recently because after going through a bit of a minimalist transformation, I realized how much of what I thought was happiness was tied up in possessions, and what I thought those possessions actually meant and what they represented. So if I buy more music gear, I would think, oh well, this will encourage me to do more music. And if I bought a new dress, I think, oh well, you know, I feel confident and comfortable in this dress, that's great. And if I bought some merchandise for a particular franchise, then I used to think that meant that I loved that show or I loved that franchise more. But none of these things are actually true. I was not a better musician for those purchases. I was not any more confident or comfortable for that dress, and I didn't love that show anymore because I invested money in their products. All those things, the skill and the willingness to practice, and the confidence and the comfort, the love for that show, they're all within me. They're part of who I am. They can't be represented in objects or possessions. That's part of me. It took me quite a long time to realize this, but once I sort of lost interest in objects and realized that I'd been putting too much worth in them and investing too much of myself and my time and my money in things that didn't really matter to me anymore, my attention went elsewhere. I started thinking about the bigger picture, and in a lot of ways minimalism sort of set me free from my little bubble. It gave me a whole new set of standards to measure myself against. And most importantly, and I guess this is sort of one of the main messages of this video, I saw finally how my life actually fit into the world. Now I know that sounds a little bit vague and pretentious, but stay with me please. So when I wasn't distracted by the minutiae, I realized how big an effect my decisions and my actions actually have on the world. I always knew that I loved animals and that I believed in fairness and I wanted to give a voice to those who didn't have voices, but I didn't live like I actually believed that. I lived the life that I had been brought up to live. I spent the first 25 years of my life looking down and just focused, on my own path, on where I was going, just looking at my feet, just ignoring a lot, sort of with my blinkers up, just not paying attention to anything that was happening around me. It was just sort of my path that was important. And it's only in the past 2 years that I actually feel like I've had my head up, that I've been looking around, that I've been able to actually see and appreciate everything. I can see the injustice in the world, and I can try to live a life that's more aligned to my beliefs. I can see the things that I've been taking for granted for all of these years and really cherish them and really give them the attention that they deserve. The bigger picture is very, 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 very big. Too big to notice sometimes. But there is so much good that needs to be done here, and it can be something as simple as only buying from companies who you agree with, who you'd want to support. Maybe volunteering, helping someone out, making someone smile, listening to someone, anything. Point is that your time on this earth gives you the opportunity to make a difference. And this leads me to my final point. If you don't believe that you can make a difference, then you are wrong. It doesn't matter who you are, you can improve this place. You just have to want to. How you live your life sends a quiet message to everyone around you. And whatever your bigger picture looks like, you will soon start to realize the difference that you are actually making. And this is the most empowering thing, realizing that you actually matter. It seems really obvious that we should know that we matter, but a lot of us are taught to be self-deprecating and humble, and especially in Britain, I've found that everyone matters and everyone can make a difference. You just have to find your bigger picture and live in it. And yes, I'm not suggesting that I don't get incredibly annoyed when the printer doesn't work or when the internet's down, or that I'm not affected by reading horrible news stories. This is a problem with the definition of happiness. Happiness isn't an emotion that signifies that everything is just going swell. It's a lot more complex. In Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which is one of my favorite books and I highly recommend it, he suggests that happiness is successfully solving problems. I think that's why my new outlook over the last 2 years has brought me so much happiness and so much joy, even though they're the years where I've come to really understand the horrors and the sadness of the world, because I don't feel like I'm hiding from them anymore. I feel like I'm not looking down anymore. I'm looking up. I'm paying attention to things. I'm not just blinkering myself from things that I don't want to accept are there. And on my own, I can't fix everything. I'm not going to suggest that I can, but I am very happy to be fighting on the side that I truly believe in. So get rid of all the distractions, whatever they may be. Find your bigger picture and live it. We don't have to shout about it, we just have to live it. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment below. I would love to hear about your ideas on happiness, as it's a very objective concept. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.